Bluff City Media presents the Two Buck Sports Show with your hosts, Rusty Buckets and Uncle Buck. Now, let's get to the show.
What is up, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to the Two Buck Sports Show after an undefeated weekend by the Memphis Grizzlies, but not the College Football Playoff Committee. All that and more to come later, but I am your co-host, Rusty Buckets, with my guy, Drew Gant, a.k.a. Uncle Buck, recording a little early because, once again, I have a work commitment on Monday. Right, Drew?
That's right. What's up, everybody? It is your Monday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show, Sunday night, Two Bucks After Dark edition. We've had incredibly busy weekends. We've actually seen each other in the flesh over the weekend. We're going to get to all of it in our first segment that we do on every single Monday.
That's right. Every single Monday. We start every show, Monday through Friday, with buffoonery. But on Mondays, it's everybody's favorite buffoonery.
That is right, Rusty. It is the Monday edition of the Two Buck Sports Show, the first show of the work week, and we celebrate the first show of the work week just two friends. We've been friends for over a decade, and we don't really typically talk a lot over the weekends, and so we use our first segment of our first show of the week to recap our weekends, and we are gracious enough to boil it down to 2 points. It is the best thing that happened to us this weekend and our biggest beef of the weekend. We have a sponsor. It's Donna's Italian Beef. Rusty, tell them about it and give me the best thing that happened to you this weekend.
That's right. Donna's Italian Beef, 509 Constitution Drive in Iuka, Mississippi. The best place for breakfast, sack lunch on your way to Pickwick. If you're local to the area, you got to go check out Jim and the gang. They've got killer tenderloin biscuits, slug burgers. If you know, you know. He's got a special burger of the day every single day. Monday through Friday, 7A, 3P. Saturdays, 7A, 1P. Go hang out with Jim and them. Tell them 2 bucks sent you. And if you send a picture, you tag us in socials with a picture of our business card on the court board, I'll Venmo you the price of your meal. Best thing that happened to me this weekend, Drew, it's a slam dunk no-brainer. Outside of seeing you and Haley for brunch on Sunday, which was fantastic this morning at one of our favorite spots, Sunrise Cafe in Memphis for some banging breakfast tacos, I got to see our favorite band in Memphis live on their acoustic tour, the last tour with the bass player Seth Bolt, who's retiring to go be with his family, and that band is Need to Breathe. They played at the Orpheum. Tallied up, it was the 8th time I've seen Need to Breathe, but it was the first time I've ever set foot inside the Orpheum here in Memphis, and so it was really cool to see. It's a beautiful venue. Obviously, I know I'm super late to the party, but it was super cool, real great venue, and then just the show is incredible because it's stripped down. Like, I've seen their big production show, and it's awesome. They do a really good job with that. But, like, Need to Breathe was made to be in an acoustic setting like this because you can appreciate, like, Bear's vocals are just so unique and so rich. Seth got to sing a lot since this is his last kind of leg. You know, he's only got one more show, and it was tonight, Sunday night in Knoxville. He got to sing a fair bit. They played a ton of the originals, some of their old stuff. It was really a really good show, and enjoyed it a lot.
It just goes to show you have to leave the band as the bass player to get recognized. It's just the shame. I've seen Need to Breathe lots of times as well, and being a bass player, I'm very akin to the bass players. I've always known Seth Bolt. I've always seen him with a microphone in front of him and a bass strapped on him, but you never actually hear him sing by himself. And it's like, oh, I'm leaving the band, and they're like, oh, well, let's let everybody hear you, and for the first time ever.
Bear said it in the show. He said he's a beautiful man with a beautiful voice, and so we only show his beautiful face, but you can hear his beautiful voice tonight. And he sang the high parts, all the high parts in the songs. He sang kind of back and forth with him in Stand By Me, their version of that, their song Brother. It was amazing. Introduced Maggie to Need to Breathe. It was her first time to see them. She had a blast. The opener, Bree Kennedy, was awesome. She's in the rotation now. It was just an all around, like, they keep getting better. The more I see them, the better they are.
And I'll have to say, this is a rule that I live by. If you sound great acoustically, you sound great as a band. But not all bands can strip down and do acoustic. And if you can't strip down and do acoustic, then I don't want any part of it. Yeah. I am a musician at heart. There has to be a musical quality to it. I don't do the and maybe I'm the curmudgeon, but I don't do the EDM. I don't do a lot of pop. I don't do a lot of
I'm right there with
R&B
you.
or rap. Like I need my music has to come from instruments played the way they were played 100 years ago. Like I need that acoustic sound to it, and Need to Breathe can strip it down and do an incredible job. And I love them equally.
And the best thing that they do at the end of all the shows that I've been to, they always step out in front of the mics and do just a raw, no mics, no boosters, no amps, no nothing, one final song at the end of their set. And they did Wasteland, and if you know, you know that's an underrated gem. And to hear it just so raw like that, like it's giving me chills all over again. It was just powerful and beautiful. Check out Need to Breathe if you haven't. They're a truly like very positive message band. Like their songs are really upbeat and uplifting. They got me through a lot of dark times, and so I'll always appreciate Need to Breathe for that. But again, great date night with Maggie, seeing my favorite band, 10 out of 10. Saturday night in Memphis.
And they claim themselves to be, and I agree with them 100%, the biggest band you've never heard of. They have a massive following, and they've only, in their whole career, have only played like Bridgestone Arena, where they live and breathe, one time.
Maggie recognized a few of their songs. She was like, is this one of their originals? I'm like, yeah. She's like, I've heard this song. And so, like, you've heard, they've done... Like Brother was
like the intro to like a college football Saturday at one point. Yeah.
And Brother was part of one too, like a college football commercial. I believe it was when she said it was the opener to Keep Your Eyes Open. And it's just like and I think that might have been what the opener for the college football was, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. You're right. All right, my best of the weekend. So me and my bride celebrated 5 years of marriage on Thursday. I talked about it on the show. She's my best friend. I love her. She can probably hear me right now, so I'm speaking extremely loud so that she can't hear me. But my best of the week is that today, Sunday, today as we're recording it, yesterday as you're listening, we got the opportunity to actually go out for our anniversary. Yeah. Because of when our anniversary sits, it typically always revolves around some sort of Christmas shopping. And so my mom kept the babies, kept all four of them actually, overnight last night, and we got to go up early Sunday morning to eat breakfast with Rusty and Maggie. It was great. And then we went to the outlet mall. Then we went to Target. We did a bunch of shopping for kids, which is fun because both of us just love to give gifts. It's a lot of fun just to go and shop for kids. And so we got to do all that. We ended up with some Slim Chickens and drove home. And
Slim Chickens is a banger.
It's my wife's favorite, and it's
good.
Solid. Have you ever
Their
had
wings
the
are
dessert
solid.
in the jar?
No,
Oh, they've got like brownies and ice cream that they keep in a jar, and different like cakes in a jar that you can order.
Be right back.
Well, yeah, this is pre-recorded. We can pause this real quick. So, but yeah, it's just all in all, the best of the weekend is just getting to spend a day with her. We don't get very much time at all, and I don't complain about that. That's part of the deal that we signed up for, is having lots of kids. The trade-off is, unfortunately, that we don't just get a lot of mom and daddy time, especially out of the house. And so being able to do that on Sunday was a blast.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. What goes up must come down. And my biggest beef of the week, kind of tongue-in-cheek, pun intended. It was a really good week last week. Again, great day night with Maggie, a lot of fun stuff. Helped my aunt move into a beautiful home in Corinth. Just this beautiful, beautiful home. But today, I've already shared this with Drew a little bit in the green room.
Oh, geez.
I was running out of food, and so I was just like, I got back from the gym, and I'd unloaded some stuff, and I was like, I got to have something quick just to help me, like some protein after the gym. So I had a little bit of chicken left, and I had a can of these ranch-style beans, which are one of my favorite this favorite side dish. I didn't have anything else, so I just heated those up, and I put the shredded chicken in it, and I ate it, and went about my merry way. The last couple hours have been a bit raucous over here. Shelby keeps coming in the room, and she's just like, and then walks out. If you hear a thump here in a minute, it's because she walked in. The smell finally got to her.
Yeah.
There's a trombone quartet in my office right now. So if I just mute like that, just mind your business.
Yeah. Adages are adages for a reason. It's because they're always true. And my favorite one of all time is beans. They're good for your heart.
So,
and
and it's accurate.
Yeah. I couldn't do that. I have to spare myself because I'm in a podcast closet. I would have to like cover the face and everything. So, my biggest beef of the weekend is Rusty buying tickets Need to Breathe despite us talking about going together. And
honestly, that was going to be my beef until the beans today. Like we talked about it, we said we're going to go. Y'all announced y'all were pregnant. I assumed that the baby would get in the way. That's on me.
Yep, easy. It definitely would have been very difficult to get her up and down the stairs. No doubt about it. But I would have left her at home.
I own that. I own that. That was some bad miscommunication on both of our parts because you said you've thought about it several times too.
Yeah,
should have
just my beef, so I get to write it the way I want to write it. I can't believe you've never been to the Orpheum before. I've been twice. I went once to see Hamilton. That was my birthday present for my wife. That was great. And then I went, I guess it was 2 Christmases ago. My mom wants us to do like a big family outing every year for Christmas with all the grandkids, my sister's kids, the whole thing. And we rolled about 14 deep into the Orpheum to watch The Grinch. And it was awful. So Awful.
Okay. Good to know because it's playing right now again. And Maggie loves The Grinch, so not going to waste money on this ticket.
If it's the same Grinch, it was no fun at all.
Yeah. Well, it was my first time Saturday night.
The kids loved it. It's for kids.
My first time was Saturday night. I already have tickets to go again in March to see another favorite artist of mine, Jason Isbell, who I listen to all the time on repeat. Just like Need to Breathe. This is a positive side of my music experience. Yeah. Then I listen to like Jason Isbell and Charles Wesley Godwin and Tyler Childers, and it's just sad. So it's like there's the Need to Breathe is the balance out there.
Easy with the hand motions there. You're going to send the millennials crazy. Hey, real quick, you could give me a one-word answer if you want to. This is a debate that me and my wife always have, and I think I'm asking you this because I know you're going to be on my side. Songs that remind you of loved ones that have gone, have passed, that make you think about them. You like listening to those songs, right?
Absolutely.
Even though it makes you sad? Okay.
Absolutely.
The one song that reminds me of my grandfather more than anything is also the one song that gets stuck in my head more than ever. And it is Outskirts of Heaven. You know, where he says, when I die, I want to live on the outskirts of heaven, talking about the cornrows for miles hay in the field. And she's like, I just can't listen to that song. It's too sad. And I'm belting it. And I love songs that make me sad for people that I love and miss. Like it's weird, but
I've got 2. I agree. I'm the same way. I like to feel that nostalgia that I miss them. I got 2. The first one, it's not really a sad song about. It's called. It is, but it's about missing a lover. But it's called "Paint Me a Birmingham" by Tracy Lawrence. That song came out when Justin passed away between my junior and senior year, and that was his favorite song. Every time you got in Justin's truck, Paint Me a Birmingham was playing. And to this day, like I get misty-eyed when Paint Me a Birmingham comes on. And what do? I turn my radio as loud as it'll go. I sing it word for word. My eyes sweat a little bit, but I sing it. I think about Goat. I think about Justin. And the other one is Follow You to Virgie by Tyler Childers.
Oh, yeah.
Reminds me of my great-grandmother who passed away when I was in high school, my mom Stanley. Like, it's just, anytime I hear that song, I just see her, like, kind of like when we listen to music, gospel music growing up in her house, and she just be swaying back and forth, just grinning, and her calling and asking how you, in this order, how's football practice going, and how are your grades? That's how she always asks it, that order every time. But those 2, Paint Me a Birmingham and Follow You to Virgie, are those songs for me.
So I love leaning into songs that make me feel something. If it's sad, if it's happy, it's whatever. Make me feel something. If you don't, I don't listen to it.
There's a song right now, and I cannot relate to it in a single iota. I grew up in the hills of North Mississippi where there are no coal mines. There are no like coal mining families, none. But Charles Wesley Godwin has a song called Sorry for the Wait. And it's an ode to the 1907 Monaga coal mine disaster in West Virginia. And it's this story of this, like, they got like this kid, like, started working in the mine when he was 10. He got married at 17, had a baby, goes to work, and then it happens. He's got a line in it. And it's just like, I got chills right now where he's just like, when you start to miss me, just holler for the mines. It's amazing how your voice echoes inside. And when the winter breeze tugs at your hair, just know that's me with a grin standing there. And I'm just like, oh, just like, I just feel it, man.
Yeah, anything about fathers and daughters these days. Post Malone's even got a song on his country album about his daughter. You know, you're wearing white, but your first dress was pink. Just a blubbering fool. Just every time. So, but I just lean into it, and I don't know how we got here, but we started talking about music, and so that's where we're at. So it's our show. It's Monday. It's our best of beef. It's always up for tomfoolery.
We're two music heads. We talk about music all the time.
Hey, I'll get fiddle out. It's right here.
Absolutely. I'll play the radio real well.
So now we're going to hit a bumper video, and for anybody who doesn't care about these two schmucks that are sharing the screen right now, we'll talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, and then we're going to a packed third segment for college football. So just hang tight with us. It is our Memphis Grizzlies segment. The Grizzlies, since we last talked on Friday at lunchtime, are 2-0.
Yeah.
We got more numbers in the left column than the right column on this Beale Street Heat check for the first time ever.
Ever. There's a new segment to this season. It's the first time we've been 3-1. The last one started off 0-5. Thankfully, I was in New England for that and not on this show. But the Memphis Grizzlies got a good, gutsy win on Friday night over a Clippers team. We got one of Kawhi. Kawhi gave us a great punch. Like, it was a good game. And for the second time this year, after Zubac ate our lunch last year, time and time again, Zach Edey has now outplayed him 2 times this season. Edey continues to be the best player on this basketball team. He makes our offense and defense go. Some of us saw that coming. Some of us did not. We're not going to name names or point fingers.
You didn't think he was going to be the best player on this basketball
team. I
team.
thought he was going to be awesome. I kept saying he was going to be awesome. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he was going to be the best player.
But my guy had that. You said it.
One of us saw that he was going to be awesome, and that's exactly what he's been. 10-8 on Zubac, but it was a big 10-8, and then 12-10 on Sunday evening. Real quick sidebar. 5 p.m. is the best time to start Grizzly basketball games. Like, it starts, let your supper digest, and then it's over like 7:30, and you can go on about your evening. Like, it's like that's the premier basketball time. Real quick sidebar.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Anything in the afternoon's great. I will say that there is a perk for it being a late night game, in my opinion, because then the kids are in bed. But at 5 o'clock, at 5 o'clock, all the hens are henning, cawing, whatever they do. I feel like that was almost a 12 Days of Christmas line or something. But
yeah,
the clucks are clucking.
Yeah,
and so yeah, I'm all for a 5 o'clock tip though if I can sit down and watch it. It's my opinion that the 2:30 football games is like peak football watching time. It's after lunch, you take a short nap, you get up, it's 2:30, and you're watching the CBS game of the week, like peak.
Well, RIP CBS game of the week. It's ABC now, but you used to like.
Well,
you
I was
just
referring
pick
to
your feet
Sundays.
Up. Sundays.
Yeah.
See, I was talking about on Saturdays. The 2:30 time on Saturdays is great.
It's
You get
true.
that afternoon
It's
kick.
Yeah.
I know everybody wants night games, and I love a good night game in Davis Wade, which Bulldogs are going bowling. We'll get to that here in a few minutes. But we're all kind of rabbit trail already. Zach Edey, 12-10. We had a Santi Aldama reverse dunk, a massive block of Jeremy Grant, and Denny Abdia whining all over the court. But it doesn't matter. The Memphis Grizzlies got a win, and Ja Morant got a heat check of Denny Abdia after he tangled up legs with Cedric Coward. They didn't call a foul. It was a purposeful trip. Didn't call a foul, only for Ja and who else but Scottie Pippen Jr. to walk out to midcourt, meet Denny Abdia in the timeout.
I love it. There was a time in this season where we had won a lot fewer games than what we had lost, and all I wanted was either a win or a fight. I said that exactly on this show, and we got a win, and we're showing some life. You can I will not go all the way yet. I still need to see Ja Morant on the court, which is coming pretty soon. He was doubtful for the game today.
Pretty sure he'll
be
playing
Friday this week, and I just wanted to see some fight. Josh showing fight. Anything that you can, any context, anything you can draw off of what he looks like in street clothes on the sideline is exactly what you want to see. Now we're getting him back pretty soon. Need to see him plugged in, fit in, or no, I'm sorry. He doesn't need to fit in. Everybody needs to fit in around him. and let's just keep stacking wins. Now we're up to 11 and 13 when we were 4-11 at one
4-11.
So.
Yeah, we're reeling off games. Now, the schedule has gotten much more favorable. It gets a bit more daunting in January. So the Grizzlies are doing what you need them to do. They're taking care of business. The fact remains that Tuimas-Isalo is still 1-25 against teams with a winning record, but we're beating bad teams right now and getting wins when we need them. You get healthy in January, and you never know what will happen. Drew, I do want to talk about two things before we kind of move on into our college football section because we got a lot. I'll give you guess who had the best plus-minus percentage for the Grizzlies against the Trailblazers?
Plus-minus percentage?
Or the net rating, the net rating.
In the Portland game. Okay, I was in and out of the Portland game. Didn't catch 100% of it. Because you asked the question makes me think it's not anybody obvious, which means it's not Edey.
Not Edey.
You wouldn't be asking at me.
Zach Edey was +4, which was,
I'm going to say it's not Jaron.
Jaron was a -5 and a 23-point win or 25-point win.
Buddy. I'm going to say it's my favorite player, Cam Spencer.
So I thought it was Cam Spencer, but it's Santiago Aldama was +34. 22 points from Slim Spain, 7 boards. Great night for him. But the point of this message was that Vince Williams Jr. did not have his best stuff. He was sloppy with the basketball. Somehow he only had 3 turnovers. I felt like it was a lot more than that. He just was very non-committal. He just looked very just blah. And so credit to T.I., he pulled him. Cam Spencer played 32 minutes, and in that 32 minutes, he had 12 points, 3 boards, 6 assists, 4 steals, and was a +33. That dude is cold.
The Spencer brothers are having themselves a weekend.
Yes, sir.
Pat Spencer setting a career high, yelling to the fans, sending
letting
the
them
fans
know.
home. I mean,
letting them know who he is and sending the Cavs fans home. I love it.
Listen, Pat and Cam Spencer might as well be Jake and Logan Paul at this point. I mean, they are just doing wild stuff out there.
Absolutely.
Backing it up. I mean, listen, I've been on record this season. I'm done throwing modesty out the window. Like, Cam Spencer is my favorite player. I love it. He was bringing energy when nobody was bringing energy. I love Cam Spencer. I think he's great. He's one of those guys, and it kind of fits the mold of a Grizzly, like what we like as a Grizzly. We're always underdogs. We're always this. We're always that. A different look about him, but the same kind of underdog mindset. Like, everybody looks at Cam Spencer what he's not. He's not 6'4". But you know what? He's like 6'1", 6'2", shoots the cover off the ball, has a mid-range shot, can handle the ball. I mean, there's so much things.
And he's
so many
mentally
things
tough.
He can do.
He started the night against Portland 1 for 4 from the field, finished the night 4 of 9. So he starts 1 for 4, hit 3 of his next 5, gets back going, but he has 4 steals. And it felt like there was a possession. It was like back-to-back in the fourth quarter when we were trying to get the lead back out. Because don't forget, in that Portland game, we were up 25. They cut it to 5, and then we ballooned it back and won by 25 again. And Cam Spencer was a huge part of that, just facilitating, running the offense, getting in. Jock Landale is playing better basketball now that he's back in the role that suits him as a backup big. He was really good against the Trailblazers when Edey got in foul trouble. It was really good to see him step up when Edey got in foul trouble, ultimately fouled out.
Yeah, I will say that that was a high character win. That Portland team's not bad. I think we have the same record. You know, they are peers. And
but they looked awful.
But my point being, a high character win is when you're up by 25. How many times when it goes wrong for you and you get it down to 5 that you cannot get it back up? You know, you then need a blue pill to get it back up. This team manufactured an internal blue pill here and got it back up on their own without any help at all. And that's a professional win. You get it back up to 25.
We started off like world beaters. We shot like 60% from the field in the first quarter, put up a 40-point first quarter, only to go 26, 26, and 27 for the rest of the game. But the biggest thing was in that third quarter, Portland had 32 to our 26, and it felt like everything was going off the rails. In the fourth quarter, we got our
in the first part of the third quarter, it felt like they outscored us by 20.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they ballooned it back out halfway through the third. They cut it down to 5 quick.
And then in the fourth quarter, defensive intensity returned, held them to 18 points in the final frame, outscored them 27-18. Professional, high-character win, 3-1 in this 10-game stretch. Run it back on Friday night against the Jazz at home. Another opportunity to get a win, Drew, in a stretch where you're playing a lot of gettable games. We don't play a team with a winning record again until December the 17th against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then we play Washington again right after that before we play.
Are we doing cup games? Why in the world is there a 4-day break?
Cup games. This is the cup. The cup games are this week. And listen, it couldn't have come at a better time. Ja need like 4 days for Ja to get healthy, 4 days for Edie and these guys to rest and get their bodies right again before we play Utah on the 12th, the 15th, the Clippers, and then we go on a quick trip at LA and at Minnesota on the 15th and 17th. So it couldn't have come at a better time to get 4 days of rest. I do expect Ja Morant to play in that game on the 12th against the Jazz, getting his body right, getting back in the game. I anticipate him to play in that game.
Yeah, I do too. I don't think you make him questionable and then make him doubtful, and then have a 4-day break, 5-day break without getting him in that last game of the homestand.
All right. Yeah, exactly. All right, Wayno, guys, sorry, that's enough. Like, we love the Grizzlies. We love professional basketball. We love the NBA. But this was a cataclysmic weekend in college football. The committee did something right, did something wrong. Notre Dame got their feelings hurt, took their toys with them, and went home. And nobody is still happy with the college football playoff. We're going to try and break it down as well as many other college football things right after this quick commercial break.
And I went back and I was thinking, like, remember in game one, we always do a night's knowledge in game one. And I usually like to come up with a word for the season. And I went back and I had to have someone reminded me this. It's like the word you used was patience. And it was like, well, and then we start off the season and everybody was frantic.
Yeah.
But they said we're supposed to be patient because of all of the factors that we had.
All the ifs.
Because of the ifs. And so you got the growing pains happen. But just as a unit, I give the coaching staff a lot of credit, give the players a lot of credit, because despite all of the outside noise, and there was a lot, they figured out how to stay together and find a way to win games.
Yeah, and it was good to see.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story. In Memphis, we know a thing or two about resilience. From the grindhouse to the Delta, we protect what's ours. But when pests invade your home, it's time to fight back. Grade A Pest knows how to handle what crawls, flies, and bites. With local experience and guaranteed results.
I'm Reggie with Grade A Pest Control. We service the Memphis metro area. That also includes DeSoto and Fayette County as well.
Grade A Pest has the entire Mid-South covered. So if bugs and pests put you to the test, let Grade A solve your problem.
Welcome back to the 2 Buck Sports Show Monday edition of the show. So far on the show, we've done our best in beef. It's a Monday special. It's a Monday tradition to start our show off with our best and beef of the week. We talked about the surging Memphis Grizzlies on their quest to 500 before a 4-day break before they play again on Friday. And now we've belabored it enough. We've fulfilled our commitment to the city of Memphis.
Mm-hmm. You're welcome.
And now we're talking about college football. This is what we want to talk about. Today, the College Football Playoff Committee released the final college football playoff rankings and the bracket. Mm-hmm. We have lots to talk about that. We had conference championship games over the weekend. Some great football games. Great football games on Saturday night. We'll get into all of it. Where do you want to start?
We'll start Saturday kind of high level. The last time the Indiana Hoosiers won an outright Big Ten football championship, the entire world was at war in 1945. Ken, you'll have to let us know in the comments what that was like when Indiana got a Big Ten football title. But they did it again Saturday night. Google me. I win. Kurt Signetti. OSFU from the stand, from the platform giving out the trophy, from the receiver. And then an incredible interview, the most Caucasian of interviews I've ever seen in my life was Fernando Mendoza. Like, it was bad.
I couldn't watch it.
It was so bad.
I couldn't watch it. I didn't even get to the part to where everybody was talking about, where he censored himself. Thankfully so. There's kids watching.
Flipping champ.
Yeah. I didn't even get to that part because the rest of it was just so cringy. But, yeah, Indiana winning the Big Ten is just crazy. It's just absolutely crazy.
When Kurt Signetti took over, they had the worst winning percentage in the entire college football universe. And all they've done is put together back-to-back 10, 11-win seasons. We're on the door, like knocking on the door last year, kicked that thing down this year, and got a title.
Yeah, what you thought was the best season that they could have ever dreamt of last year. Everybody called it a flash in the pan, a fluke. It was nothing compared to what they've been this year. Just dominating in defensive football against Ohio State in a neutral site game. It was absolutely incredible. I'll steal something from Josh Pate, who I was listening to on the drive home, and I laughed hysterically. He said, I think it's time to put Kirk Signetti on Mount Rushmore. And Mount Rushmore of college football coaches? No, Mount Rushmore. There's only president so far. I think we should put Kirk Signetti up there.
Freaking love that
FDR
dude,
could not beat Ohio State.
I love that dude, man. Love that dude. I'm all in on Signetti, and I will always root for him because he talks his talk and he backs it up.
I'm always, if I've been consistent, I pride myself in being consistent. I tell everybody when I was wrong. If there's one thing that I hold near and dear, and I've been consistent about, it's that I love a showman, but you have to take your medicine if it turns out that you're wrong. I love a showman, especially when they back it up. I love Baker Mayfield. I loved Marshall Henderson. I love Conor McGregor. I love Kirk Signetti. To walk in there in an opening press conference when you just take the job in Indiana and to immediately start throwing darts at conference foes, the cream of the crop, the bluest of blue bloods, start throwing darts at them.
Starting with Purdue.
I win. Google me. Like, oh my god.
He started with Purdue at that basketball game, but then immediately turned to Ohio State and Michigan. And it's like, buddy, that takes some stones. And not even 2 full calendar years later, he has upset Ohio State as the pride of the Big Ten and is heading into the college football playoff as the number 1 ranked team in the country. The Indiana freaking Hoosiers.
It's wild. I can't.
Wow. The Indiana flipping Hoosiers, as Francisco Mendoza said.
Yeah. I can't believe it. But they're the
two
one
teams.
Seed.
Yeah, but the 2 teams that impressed me the most, and we'll kind of lump these together because they were just absolute bully beatdowns. Georgia stuffed Alabama in a locker after Texas Tech did the same thing to the Stormin' Mormons of Brigham Young. Like, just 2 dominant performances, Tech winning 34-7 to claim the Big 12 championship, and Georgia winning the SEC title, getting the Alabama monkey off of Kirby Smart's back, winning 28-7 in Atlanta. 2 good wins from 2 impressive teams. We'll get you some scenarios here in a minute, but I was impressed by both Georgia and Texas Tech.
Yeah, I kind of predicted the Texas Tech thing. I thought that Texas Tech would dominate
Who
them.
didn't?
They've dominated everybody all year.
Yeah.
They did get some
including
help.
BYU.
Bear Bachmeier got hurt in the first half, and he was
Mm-hmm.
extremely gimpy the whole game. But at that point, you kind of saw what was coming. Texas Tech just opened up a whole can on them.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't quite see coming was Georgia. I picked Georgia to win. I picked Georgia to cover, but they were like a 3.5-point favorite. I wasn't going out on a limb here. It's like your Zach Edey thing. It's like, well, I picked Georgia to cover. I never expected this. You know, like them 28-7, and they just dismantled Alabama. There was no parts left to salvage when it was done, and I firmly believed that Alabama would not be punished, or any SEC or big power conference team with a respectable record would be punished for losing the SEC championship game. But they got beat so bad that I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
There was a world where like a BYU or Notre Dame could have snuck in,
Right.
because in the first 30 minutes that Alabama and Georgia played this season, they played 120 minutes, 2 full games. In the first 30 minutes, Alabama outscored Georgia 24-14 and had 82 yards rushing. Over the next 90 minutes, Alabama was outscored 35-7 by Georgia and had 32 rushing yards, including -3 in the SEC championship game. It was the first time they had negative rushing yards like that since 1955, like just dominated in every capacity. Georgia came out, and I'm telling you, like, we'll get to this more here in a minute. Georgia is peaking at the right time. Heading into the college football playoff, they've got momentum. They pressured Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson was not comfortable that entire game. I watched it this afternoon. I didn't get to watch last night because of the concert. But Ty Simpson was pressured the entire game. Finished tonight 19 of 39. For 212 yards, Ty Simpson did. No interceptions to speak of this time, but Georgia absolutely got after them, had that Gata defense, and showed that they are peaking at the right time.
Yeah, that's such a recipe though for Georgia to be successful, and for anybody to be successful. Alabama cannot run the football. They were playing 2 freshman running backs, I think, and they asked Kalen DeBoer about it to start the game before the game even kicked off on the sideline, and it kind of perked my ears a little bit. And they said, "What are your new guys going to deal with?" You know, and he's like, "Oh, well, they're young and they provide something different." And I was like, "Oh, they're going to not be able to run the ball again." And Georgia just smoked them. Like there were no, like I said, no parts left to sell. Peaking at the right time.
I hope they leak this Kirby Smart pregame speech, because I'm sure it was electric, like he has been known to be in the past. And like Josh Pate said, like I'll give Pate credit for this too. Like Kirby Smart, you can tell, just enjoys coaching this team, because he's not been the one that's like, this is one of my better teams, and it's not one of the more talented teams he's had. There's no N'Kobe Deans or Jordan Davis is walking through that defensive lock.
Anybody that's playing defense for the Eagles.
Right. Like basically, yeah. But they've been a fun team for him to coach this year. They're peaking at the right time, and I think they're going to be dangerous. But speaking of dangerous, don't let the Dukies get hot. 8-5. Duke Blue Devils are your ACC champs, which is fitting in a year when the ACC was just bad all the way around. Awesome. Just terrible teams. Like, we thought Miami was the team, and they were for a few weeks, and they got their own way. They just completely cannibalized themselves, culminating with a basketball school at 8-5, winning the football conference championship in an electric game, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a fun game. Me and Haley got home last night. We finished watching the game in the bed, and it was fascinating. Like, this was exactly what you thought was going to happen. If you just think about what the ACC has done all year, they followed the script. Whatever makes this conference looks good, let's do the opposite. Let's just do we want to have a team in the playoff? No, of course we don't. No. Let's just screw this game up right here. Yeah. Georgia Tech, why don't you go lose to Wake Forest or whoever it was? And Miami, why don't you go lose 2 games to SMU and Boston College, whoever the other one was, Louisville. Like, Louisville,
and then
why don't you go
lose
at Cal? Like, just
in Florida State, you're going to beat Alabama. In Florida State, you're going to beat Alabama and then lose to everybody else.
It was just disgusting. The whole conference was disgusting. They backdoored a team into the playoff in what I think was a correct move, but we'll get into all that. It was the right move, but it was done about 6 weeks too late, which made it look worse, despite them actually doing the right thing.
That's it. And that's what I was getting at earlier. They made the right decision, but in the worst possible way. So let's briefly touch on this to get this out of the way. the one team on the outside looking in, as a result, at the end of the day, Saturday, it felt like Notre Dame was in because they had the perfect storm happen. Texas Tech boat race BYU. Virginia loses to Duke. It felt like everything was for Texas. Like it felt, and Alabama got beat. Georgia boat races Alabama. It felt like, and Notre Dame Twitter accounts were haughty, looking down their nose, so arrogant all Saturday night and Sunday morning, only for it to rightfully come crashing down on them, losing out to Miami, who they also ironically lost to in the first week of the first week of the season, and are left on the outside. But they couldn't just leave well enough alone. They had to go on and then pout in the worst possible way after weeks of saying if Notre Dame plays BYU in the college football play-in, they'll dominate them. They'll stuff them in a locker. It won't be close. So they get left out of the college football playoff and have an opportunity to go play BYU in the most fun freaking bowl, the Pop-Tart Bowl. You got dancing Pop-Tarts. Like, why wouldn't you want to go play in that bowl game?
I would love to play in that game.
Absolutely. But what do, Drew? They released a statement. As a team, we decided to withdraw our name from consideration for a bowl game following the 2025 season. We appreciate all the support from families, yada, yada, yada. What I read here is we're angry, we're soft, we're taking our toys, we're going home, and we're not playing with y'all anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to get to that point. That's for sure. I mean, they did take their ball and they're going home. Listen, I do not have a problem with Notre Dame fans being mad. I don't. For the whole season, and then this is a committee problem. I have railed against this committee so many times, so have you, so has everybody. If there's one thing that is unanimous about the committee, it's that they suck. Yeah. And they got it right, in my opinion. We'll see the bracket in a minute. I believe they got it right.
Way.
But two teams that had identical records for the last 4 to 5 weeks of the season who had a head-to-head matchup against each other, the loser of that matchup was ranked higher than the winner. We've talked about this for weeks.
And the committee chair was on record saying we have no way to compare these teams because they're not next to each other in the rankings, and referenced rushing yards, that Notre Dame had 1 billion rushing yards against Syracuse of all people. Like, it doesn't matter when you're talking head-to-head. So the committee got it right, but with egg on their face because they got it wrong for multiple weeks in a row.
This is the equivalent. It's the Christmas season here. It is like you asking your mom and dad for a PS5 so you can play NBA 2K. And you beg, and they say, oh, I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get it. I think you're going to get this PS5. It's looking good. Santa's being generous this year. And then you open up your present on Christmas morning, and it's a mini hoop that you hang on your door frame. And then the kid just goes and breaks the mini hoop over his leg because he's pissed because he was led to believe he was getting a PS5 with 2K. And at that point, it's like, well, hey, parent, maybe you shouldn't have got your kid's hope up.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly right. And you know, I'll take it back to college football, right? Like, listen, I understand. And you go on and on about bowls are meaningless. They're meaningless games. I get that. But then there's games where, like, you remember when right here, Georgia got left out of the playoff a few years ago. What do? They go play Florida State in the Citrus Bowl and beat them 63-6.
Yeah, a Florida State with a broke leg. Jordan Travis.
But Notre Dame, you want to stick it to the committee? You go play BYU in the Pop-Tart Bowl and you beat them 70-7 like you did Syracuse. But
I don't think that I'm Mr. Fan here. Fan here. I don't think that that's the way you should handle this. I think they were wrong by doing this because this is
bowing
a
out of the bowl game.
Yeah, by bowing out of the bowl game.
Because what I'm saying, you still get magical moments because in that Georgia game over Florida State, Will Muschamp was coaching the defense, and his son scored a touchdown. So there's still moments. There's still reasons to play those games.
You're talking about Notre Dame is a nationwide fan base. One of probably the most nationwide fan base of any college in the world. There are Notre Dame fans in Charlotte, North Carolina. That is where the Pop-Tart Bowl.
I was just thinking.
Right?
I'm looking it up because I was curious.
I think it is, but if not, just copy and paste whatever city it's in.
It's in Orlando, Florida.
It's in Orlando, Florida. There are a ton of Notre Dame Irish football fans in Orlando, Florida, who cannot make it to South Bend, Indiana to watch a game. and they would have gotten excited for this. They would have gotten up. They would have been mad they weren't in the playoffs, but you have an opportunity for the fans to watch one more game.
Yeah.
And you could be mad. You go home. Honestly, the university's probably taking the brunt of this because the players weren't going to play anyway, so they're just taking the hit. But
I mean, Jeremiah Love wasn't going to play.
It's a disservice.
And to bring it back, like Mississippi State, yes, we backdoored into a bowl. We're going to play Wake Forest in the Dukes Mayo Bowl.
That's so fitting. That is so fitting. That
It
two
is, but
5-7 teams are playing in a mayonnaise bowl.
And here's the thing, like for us, like that's $1 million check that's coming in to the university. That is Kamario Taylor, another start, another game under his belt, another opportunity to get some reps, more practice. Nothing about that is bad for this Mississippi State team. And future defensive coordinator Zach Arnett is finally going to be with the Bulldogs again and going to coach some in the bowl game. So, like, it's a win-win. We're excited about the opportunity. Notre Dame, I understand being frustrated, but shout out to the Locked On Badgers podcast, Ryan Herrings, Harings. Hope I didn't mess that up.
Sounds right.
This is quite literally peak why everybody dislikes Notre Dame behavior. Too good for a conference, too good for a bowl game, while also not being good enough for the playoffs. Hope you enjoy the pity party. #Irish. I agree with that sentiment 100%.
I mean, they are the Dallas Cowboys of the NCAA. Like nobody, they've got the biggest fan base in the world, but nobody's going to cry when they lose. And so, like, no, you're not going to get any sympathy from me. Although I do think you were done dirty. I just don't think this is how you handle it. This isn't how you solve problems. This isn't what's good for your fans, and that's where I stand first.
And I love all the Notre Dame fans. Y'all pissed off Marcus Freeman. This is going to be a pissed off football team next year. And buddy, listen to this schedule, Drew. And this is the last I want to talk about this low rate, great value university before we talk about the real college football playoff. But listen to this gauntlet they have to run through next year as the most pissed off team in college football. Okay. They open with Wisconsin in Green Bay. Then they play Food. They play Rice.
Okay.
Michigan State, at Purdue, at North Carolina, Navy in Foxborough at Gillette Stadium.
Ooh.
That's pretty cool.
Big one. It's a big one.
Miami comes to South Bend. Revenge game November the 7th. Get ready. This is how they wrap up their season. Listen to this gauntlet. Boston College, SMU, at Syracuse, Stanford, and USC.
Yeah, it's a bad schedule, but that's kind of what it was this year. Like they're out of, well, I can't say out of conference because they're not in a conference, but they played Arkansas. Arkansas turned out to be terrible. They played Miami and lost. They played Texas A&M and lost.
And then they beat Cupcakes.
And I'm not going to sit here and say that they shouldn't be in. They should be in. Let me finish my sentence. They should be in, but over one of the two G5 schools. That should be a non-starter. We're going to get to the bracket. We'll talk about that.
I wasn't reacting about what you were saying. I'm reacting about the fact that we haven't even got to the worst point of this whole freaking thing. Ross Dellinger points out that as a part of an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, signed last spring, beginning next year, Notre Dame is assured of a college football playoff berth if they're in the top 12. If this year's situation unfolds next year, the final at-large team, Miami, would have gotten bumped by Notre Dame, even though Miami beat them because of a memorandum of understanding, not by results on the field. You want to talk about the softest thing I've heard all day is you have to have a piece of paper that says, we're in no matter what if we're in the top 12, and they will be with that cupcake schedule next year. Even if they flub up and lose one game, they're going to be in because of a piece of paper.
Yeah. It's true, and that is one of the perks of being an independent like Notre Dame. They have their own TV network. We forget who makes these rules here. It's TV money makes rules, and Notre Dame has pretty much an exclusive with NBC. They are a huge brand, and so this backdoor deal is dirty. Everybody should be pissed. Every single Power 5 school should be pissed that this is happening because it will bump an ACC school out eventually. It will bump an SEC school out just because Notre Dame has a conference with some TV backing in it. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. And the best part is they'll say, okay, well, let's just expand the playoff and add another team. But wait, there is a clause in this MOU that if they expand to 14 teams, then as long as Notre Dame is ranked in the top 13, then they get in. It's just asinine. It's so silly that you can't sack up and join the ACC. You play basically an ACC schedule every year. Anyway, you're in the ACC for every sport but football. I understand the TV deal. Don't come at me with the TV money. I understand it. It's soft. If you're scared, say you're scared and stay out of a conference. You want to play a bunch of cupcakes and then go get boat race. And you would talk about last year. Cool. You got lucky. You played Indiana, who was still on the up and coming. You beat a Penn State team who was like, what really were they? Then you play Ohio State, you get stuffed in a locker. Do I need to remind you of what happened when you played Alabama in the BCS era? Chance Warmack, I have an inside source. Bear Jones was the center on that team. On the first play of the game, Chance Warmack with his belly hanging out, jersey all up, belly hanging out, walks up to the line and points at Manti Te'o and says, "Hey, Manti, I'm going to make you my real girlfriend tonight." And then just stuffed him in a locker for 4 quarters. Yeah. And so now you're going to have a piece of paper that says, we get to play with the big boys and get embarrassed on the stage. I'm done talking about this bootleg university. Let's talk about the real teams that get in.
They've got a really good athletic director and president to strike that deal.
Well, and again, and as well, like getting that TV deal. NBC pays them an insane amount of money every year to air their game.
Yeah. So you're right. Let's move on.
The teams who actually got in. Your 12 teams. Drew, I think they got it about exactly right with I'll say one glaring problem. 2 I could hear an argument for, but definitely one. And that's the fact that we have an extra G5 team. If you want to put one in to be cute, that's fine. Whatever. Like last year was Boise State. They were a top 4 seed and got pummeled by Penn State. Cool. But like this year, you've got basically a bye week for Oregon. You got Ole Miss with a rematch against Tulane. Drew, remind me of the final score of the last time y'all played Tulane this year.
45-10.
45-10. I think Oregon is going to beat JMU by a similar score, and Ole Miss will do the same with Tulane. I understand you got to have – well, listen, I'm like roll wave here on this side. But like their rule says you got to have 5 conference champs. Yep. They can't help it that the ACC's conference champ was an 8-5 basketball school. So you get 2 G5 conference champs. They're going to make for 2 bye weeks for Ole Miss and Oregon, and I hate that for Ole Miss. I truly do. I'd rather y'all be playing Notre Dame than Tulane.
Okay. Well, obviously, something's going to change here. And what shouldn't change is the number of teams that get in the playoff. I talked about this last week. It doesn't matter if you put this thing to 64. Somebody's going to be pissed. Somebody's going to be outraged. Somebody's going to say, well, we should be 76. Like, just quit. 12 is fine. You're going to have teams are upset. That's what makes playoffs special. You've got to have snubs. If you didn't have snubs, then nobody would celebrate when they made it. That's just not how this works. Mm-hmm. There's going to be some changes made, and I hope it's not an expansion. But they're going to have to put a floor on the ranking of teams that are in my opinion. Yes. You're going to have to say, okay, you can 2 group of 5 schools can make it if they're conference champions, but they've got to be ranked in the top 15, top 20 even. Neither of these teams, when you rank them out with the top 25 teams in the country, they are not going to be above a top 20 team in there. So you're going to have a floor for this. Like Boise State last year, they were, I think, 12th or 13th in the country. Like they're good enough. They should have gotten in.
Sure.
But you're going to have to protect yourself from this, because what it is you've got 2 games here. So both of these games are going to happen on December the 20th, the Saturday, where you're going to have the early game, which is Miami and Texas A&M in College Station.
Hey, real quick, can I make a comment on that before we get too much further? So like you talked about both of those teams need to be in the top 15. I agree, but that's going to be really hard to do given the committee's emphasis on like undefeated and winning records. So like it's going to be tough for JMU to schedule Oklahoma and Tennessee and some of these games to where they could give themselves some relevancy, because the big boys aren't going to play. Alabama's already reworked their schedule and moving teams off. So it's going to be hard for these teams to schedule games that would prove that they could be ranked in the top 15. Because I don't know that a JMU with a Sun Belt schedule, like, and then your non-conferences are like, even if it's like NC State or like a lower P4 team, are going to be enough to get in the top 15.
Yeah, I agree, but you're going to have conference champions that you can rely on. They do hold those pretty near and dear, as they should. But
what I hope is that comes out of all this is we get rid of this freaking committee. We go back to a computer based for the 12 teams. Like, I don't think I didn't want to expand to 12 from 4. We got to 12. Like, and now the same people and this I didn't, but the same people who wanted to expand now want to expand again. And it's like, but the system, like you thought the system was broke at 4. You got what you wanted. Now you want to expand it again because this system's broke. At some point, you got to stop. And instead of expanding and giving more teams like the chance to play, let's fix how we pick the teams that play. Maybe we pick the top 12 from the AP poll. Maybe you go back to the BCS computer system. But let's do something different than a bunch of ADs sitting in a room drinking bourbon, picking the teams that they want.
I agree. I agree with you. I don't know how you fix it. It's not expansion, in my opinion. But what has happened because of the rules that they've got here is on Saturday you started off with the best game of the day, Miami and Texas A&M. They're playing that at 11 o'clock because TV networks are selfish and they don't think about the fans, and instead they're going to play a 2:30 game in Oxford. Tulane and Ole Miss. Ole Miss opened up as a 17.5-point favorite, and then you go to JMU and Oregon, in which Oregon's a 21.5-point favorite. That's not good for viewers. Nobody wants that outside of Ole Miss fans and Oregon fans. Like, nobody wants that. But just allow me to separate myself from a college football fan to an Ole Miss fan. There's one thing that I want. It's a championship, and it's a path to a title. I wouldn't trade my first-round matchup with anybody. Absolutely.
You absolutely not.
Like,
maybe Oregon would be the only one.
I want a path. I want an absolute path. And to get to the second round, the best way you can do that is get through the first round. The best way you can do that is play a team that you are better than. You've shown them to beat 45-10. Listen, this Tulane team is better now than they were in week 4. They figured some things out. They're good. They're good, but they're G5. I think if you want to get rid of this altogether, and it would ruffle a lot of feathers, it would force a lot of conference realignment as well. But we need to start just treating G5 as we did Division I AA. Like, have your own thing. Like, because if you're a Tulane fan or you're a James Madison fan, you have no chance at winning this. You may beat Ole Miss. You may beat Oregon. That could happen. Upsets happen. That's the beauty of brackets. Single elimination. Anything can happen. Tulane is not beating Ole Miss and then Georgia and then Ohio State and then Indiana. It's just not going to happen. But you know what? If you had a G5 16-team tournament, Tulane would be the prohibitive favorites. And I know it would be considered a subclass or whatever. But a championship is a championship. And over time, that would be that's a trophy and a ring.
I think that's a good idea. That's a ring. That's a trophy. That's a banner you can hang. You can tout that you were the G5 champions. Like, I think that's a thing. And I'm not trying to be an elitist here because I root for a P4 school, but like, you're going to see again this year, Boise State was outclassed. This year, unfortunately, Ole Miss is going to boat race Tulane. Oregon might beat JMU by 100. Austin Stadium is a rough place to go play for a P4 school. JMU has not seen an environment like this going to walk into on December 20th. And so, like, it's a disservice to us as a college football fan. I would have much rather have seen Ole Miss and Notre Dame, Oregon, BYU, and let's just see what happens.
You know, if Virginia just doesn't screw up, you're watching Ole Miss and Virginia in the first round. Ole Miss would still be a 12, 13, 14-point favorite probably, but that's
there's a chance.
Fun matchup. Like,
and there's a chance.
Well, no, I'm just saying I think Virginia probably has equal chances Tulane does. Tulane beat Duke, earlier in the season. So, I mean, but it's just a sexier name. And it's not, and for me, it's a rematch. Like, listen, you're getting your first ever home playoff game. It's the biggest sporting event in the state of Mississippi ever, and that is something real. If you wanted to say like, it sucks, it's Tulane because I've already went to that game, then you can say that. But it's obvious that the stakes are different here. The place is going to be packed. It's going to be raucous. You're going to get an incredible showing from the fans, and it is what the fans deserve. But I understand somebody saying that like, it just sucks that you're getting a rematch. But let me tell you something else. If Ole Miss would have fallen to the 7 seed, then you would have played Miami. Would you rather play Miami at home or Tulane at home? I'm sorry. Give me the green wave over the tropical storm.
I mean, that's it. But if you're an Ole Miss fan, but the committee kind of screwed it up here too, because not only do you have the Tulane Ole Miss rematch, you got an Alabama Oklahoma rematch. is it like this one is at least more compelling? Does Alabama still get beat the same way if they turn the ball over 3 times? I guess we'll find out. Oklahoma forces a ton of turnovers, so that may be just the MO of the game. But you got a rematch here. When Ole Miss beats Tulane, you got Georgia again. I would have much rather seen Ole Miss play Indiana or play. I think that Ole Miss Texas Tech game would have been electric. I think it'd have been a ton of fun.
I would have been totally cool with an Ohio State Ole Miss matchup because that's something you never see before. Listen, this is what I was talking about to Dad. My dad was just like, man, it sucks that we play Georgia again. They beat us. They're really good. They're peaking at the right time. And when you get to the quarterfinals of a 16-team playoff, buddy, they're all or 12-team playoff. They're all good.
Real
the
good.
matchup's going to be pretty daunting. I mean, this is good on good at this point, and you just kind of hope the things fall your way, that you come out prepared and you execute and it works out. But I'm not worried about matchups then. Like, just give me something different, something to enjoy it. I will say that we dogged the committee a lot. I think the committee did it right. I think they got it right here, and I think that they even went a step further in getting it right. And you see here that I feel like they ranked these teams in order from best to worst in the 12 teams. And they didn't stack the seeding to make good, favorable matchups. Because there was an inkling in the back of their mind that says, I don't want to see Ole Miss and Tulane, and I don't want to see Alabama and Georgia. But that's the way that we have them seeded. That's the way we have them ranked. That's what we're going to go with. There was no fudging with the seedings to create better matchups. That's what I would have expected with the ratings being the king now. They didn't do that.
No, they went chalk. And with that, speaking of matchups, Drew, over on FanDuel, we've got early lines on the most likely outcomes for the college football playoff. The field is set. The number one overwhelming odds-on favorite for the college football national championship is Ohio State beating Indiana at plus 500. Indiana beating Ohio State is second at plus 600, followed by Indiana beating Georgia. Looking at the matchups, looking at the bracket, and I can pull it back up, I put my money where my mouth was on FanDuel today on who I think will be the national champ and who they would play and beat for a national championship. What do you think is the most likely outcome given the bracket we were just looking at?
If I had to put my money on anybody, listen, maybe it's bias. It's SEC bias. I don't feel like anybody is hit a stride quite like Georgia has right now. There's a difference and maybe Ohio State and Indiana have just been playing at that stride all year. But you see a marked advantage, a marked improvement from Georgia now than Georgia a month ago. Like, it feels like they've taken it up a notch. And maybe they've just taken it up to the level Ohio State and Indiana is playing at all year long. But it looks so much different right now for Georgia.
Agreed. And I agree with that. I think Georgia is playing the best football that they've played all year long. And so in that vein, I put my money where my mouth is. I put $10 on Georgia to win the national championship at plus 600 odds over on FanDuel. I put my money where my mouth is that Georgia Tech will beat Texas Tech, $10 at plus 1,700 over on FanDuel. I think that would be an electric
Texas
matchup.
Tech beats Indiana.
I think that I was impressed by Texas Tech all year long. I was impressed with what they did to BYU. I put my money where my mouth was. I think that Georgia wins the national championship, beating Texas Tech in the finals. Then I also put some money on Diego Pavia at plus 185 to win the Heisman. Why not?
Yeah, I feel like Pavia's going the wrong way now. It always sucks to not be playing on conference championship game weekend when you're wanting to win the Heisman.
Mendoza did himself no favors, though. He had an ugly first half, great second half. And so let me pull up the odds. I have not checked the Heisman odds today.
I would say regarding yours, I do believe that top half of the bracket is more gettable for the teams that don't have buys. You know, you're looking at Oklahoma, Alabama, and who is that top one? Oregon and JMU. Like, I feel like three of those four teams are all about the same, but pretty interchangeable, and they're going to catch Indiana and Texas Tech. I think those two teams can be gettable. maybe it's blue blood bias here thinking, but you look at the bottom half of the bracket, and the four teams that are playing are going to catch Georgia and Ohio State, and that just seems to be a little bit more daunting.
I agree with that. The Heisman odds, I put that money on Diego Pavia a couple of days ago when it was a lot closer. The odds have swung now. Fernando Mendoza is minus,
gosh,
2,500 to win the Heisman.
Oh, so he's won it then. Because
he is minus 2,500. Diego Pavia is plus 1,200 to win the Heisman.
And that sucks, but, Heisman voting started open today, and so I think they're starting to see some early returns, or people are starting to talk or something. It seems like it's a slam dunk now for Fernando Mendoza, and that's part of it. I talked about it when we talked about the Heisman in a segment last week. It's like, you're getting Julian Sand versus Fernando Mendoza, two of the three top odds-on favorites for the Heisman. You're getting them playing each other in Lucas Oil Stadium for the Big Ten championship game. It's hard not to see the winner of that game winning the Heisman, and I think that's short-sighted. I'm a huge Pavia fan. And,
same. Nobody was more important to their football team than Diego Pavia was this year. Indiana's defense was great, not taking away anything from the other position groups in Vanderbilt. But without Diego Pavia, I don't think you're 10-2. He was the fourth, he had the fourth most yards and touchdowns and all passing rate. He was so good all year long. It's a shame he won't win it because he didn't play on Championship Saturday. But I still put money on him to win when I could. Last thing before we get,
you need to go put $5 more on it.
Yeah, I might do that at plus 1,200. I might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well. But before we get out of here, as we wrap up our Monday show, we got plenty of the week to talk about it. We got 2 weeks to talk about these games. We will go through and we'll break down each game individually as we get closer to the game. Congratulations, order. We saw 2 college football records fall this weekend, Drew, that are just wild stats. Are you ready for this? Division II, Harding University set the single season rushing yards for a team and a single season rushing touchdowns for a team this year.
Okay.
They rushed the previous record was 6,300 rushing yards, and they had 6,308, 6,308 rushing yards, and they scored 80 rushing touchdowns.
Is that
80 rushing touchdowns in a 12-game season? Buddy, they did not pass the ball one time. They couldn't have.
6,300 rushing yards in a 12-game season, 525 yards a game.
That is wild. And they are still going as they are in the Division II playoffs. They play this Saturday against Kutztown at 2:30 on December the 13th. Go Bison, Harding University. 6,308 rushing yards.
You know who's not who's not going to be able to defend their Division II championship?
Yes, San Diego State. They got upset.
Ferris State, reigning Division II champions, because your boy is competing for a college football national championship in Oxford, Mississippi.
Well, San Diego State also South Dakota State also got upset in their bid for they were the number 1 seed. They were like
They're
the
FCS.
top team. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And they got upset by the bottom. It was like a 1-16 in the NCAA tournament, and they got upset.
Oh, wow. That
and
doesn't mean we need to go to 16, people.
No, it does not. No, it does not. And that's going to do it for your $2 Sports Show this Monday. Drew, great weekend of football. We had the Mississippi High School State Championships as well. Gulfport upset Tupelo in a massive Hail Mary to tie it. Got the extra point, 121-20. The 2 running backs in that game, both Mississippi State commits, both rushed for almost 200 yards apiece. Just an incredible football game. Warren Central won a title. Brookhaven upset West Point, who was going for their 3rd consecutive state championship. Great football all the way around. But this is your home for college football and all football on Bluff City Media, the $2 Sports Show. We're here live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central. We'll be back live tomorrow. Drew and Kenny, possibly somebody else. TBD. I am in some work stuff Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. So you won't get to see me again until Thursday unless we pre-record. But thank y'all for being here, hanging out with us in the comments regardless. We appreciate y'all. Go be a friend to somebody who needs a friend. And Drew, tell them why there are no refunds.
That's right, because with the $2, you always get what you pay for. Thanks for being here, everybody. Hope everybody had a good weekend. We will see you tomorrow.
Thank you for listening to the Two Buck Sports Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. We'll see you back here next time.